She thought she was just raising a dog. But over the years, through heartbreak, awkward losses, and quiet triumphs, it turns out he was raising her too. The first time Aaliyah saw Cardamon, he was no bigger than a loaf of bread and quivering in a cardboard box on a stranger's porch. She was 14, in that awkward space between girlhood and whatever came next. She hadn't planned on adopting a dog, but there was something in the way his ears flopped when he barked at a leaf that made her laugh for the first time in weeks. He came home with her that day, trembling the whole ride, pressed against her leg. At first, he was a project, something to feed, to teach, to brag about at the park. Sit, stay, roll over. Aaliyah studied online videos late into the night and trained him with near military precision. He learned fast, except for the part where he insisted on sleeping beside her pillow, paw draped across her cheek like a claim. In time, she stopped minding. They grew together in the tight weave of shared routines, morning walks, peanut butter snacks, drives with the windows down. He chased her through the house when she danced to the old jazz records her dad left behind. She told him secrets no one else knew, not even her best friend Layla, especially not Layla. But nothing golden stays. That summer, Aaliyah fell hard for a boy named Jace, all guitar strings and half-closed eyes. Cardamon knew something was off from the start. He'd growl when Jace showed up at the door and sit stiffly in the corner during movie nights, staring like a tiny sentinel. Aaliyah, he doesn't even like dogs, Layla said one afternoon as they painted their toenails in the backyard. He doesn't have to, Aaliyah muttered. He likes me. But when Jace disappeared without a word at the end of summer, just a text and silence, Cardamon didn't say, "I told you so." He simply climbed into her lap as she cried on the bathroom floor and rested his head on her knee. At 17, Aaliyah got her license. She took Cardamon everywhere. Road trips, beach walks, gas station snacks. In photos, they looked like explorers. In truth, she was running from a question she didn't know how to ask. College loomed. So did decisions. Her mother's voice started sounding less like advice and more like a warning. You can't bring a dog to everything, Aaliyah. Why not? But she was afraid of leaving home, afraid of staying, afraid that the version of her who had Cardamon by her side wasn't someone she could bring into the next chapter. That fall, she tried. She moved into a small off-campus apartment with beige walls and a ban on pets. Cardamon went to stay with her mom. Aaliyah told herself it was temporary. The nights were the worst. Quiet. Too quiet. No toenails tapping the floor. No snorty snoring under the covers. Just the slow drip of doubt. One Saturday, she came home to visit. Her mom handed her a grocery list and said, "He's been restless. He keeps looking for you." Aaliyah found Cardamon lying in the laundry room, paw twitching in his sleep. She knelt. "Hey, buddy." He woke, blinked at her, and pressed his face to hers. She hadn't cried in months. But now the tears came fast, and Cardamon, true to form, licked them away, like he was clearing the sky. She stayed home that night, and the next, then packed her things and transferred to a closer school. From then on, they shared a rhythm again, not quite like before, but steadier. He was older now, less bounce, more sigh, but he still walked beside her, even when she moved slowly. Sometimes they fought, usually over a sock, or him digging up her herb garden. Sometimes she left for too long, and he gave her the cold shoulder. Once, she stepped on his paw in the dark, and he yelped so loudly she cried more than he did, but the bond held. When she got her first real job and rented her first real place, one with scuffed floors and no pet ban, he watched from the doorway as she hung her pictures, tail sweeping the ground. Now and then, people asked why she hadn't dated anyone in a while. She shrugged. I'm learning how to live with someone who doesn't speak, but always listens. Because Cardamon wasn't just her dog. He was the mirror that didn't judge, the hand that wiped the tears, the eye that blinked in pain when she stumbled. And in that quiet companionship, messy, loyal, maddening, and full of joy, Alia came to understand what it meant to grow up with someone beside you. Not in front, not behind, but next to you. Always.